Hi everyone, this is Dr. Chhoda with Ignition Time, and in this video I'm going to answer the question, what do you do if you're about to exhaust your state unemployment benefits? Now, by the way, I'm not talking about the $300 a week booster. I'm specifically talking about what happens when you exhaust the state unemployment benefits. This is very, very important because keep in mind, if you're not getting state unemployment benefits, then you may not qualify for the $300 a week booster. In fact, the $300 a week booster requires that you're getting at least $100 a week from your state by way of unemployment benefits. So there are individuals who get less than $100 a week who don't get the $300 a week booster. So in this video, I'm going to answer the question, what happens if you're about to exhaust your regular unemployment benefits, and what were the provisions of the CARES Act that was passed back in March. Now, some of you may already know this, but I know a lot of my subscribers and a lot of my viewers have been writing messages saying that they're about to exhaust their state benefits. They're very scared, they're nervous, they're frightened about how they're going to make rent, how they're going to pay their bills, how they're going to keep the lights on, put food on the table, which is why I want to provide some of this basic information that was released as a result of the CARES Act. So under the CARES Act, and by the way, I'm quoting you directly from the Department of Labor's website. So I'll provide you with the link in the description section below to the website from the Department of Labor that provides you this specific guideline, so you can check that out for yourself. So it reads, under the CARES Act, states are permitted to extend unemployment benefits by up to 13 weeks under the new Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program, PEUC. Now keep in mind, normally states provide up to 26 weeks of unemployment benefits. This is normal. Every state's a little different, and I've done other extensive videos on the minimum and maximum benefit amount in different states across the country. I've done videos on the retroactive payment dates for states across the country. So I've done several other videos that will provide you with a good foundation, a good baseline of information for your particular state. In fact, I believe that information and that content is probably the best on the internet because it consolidates everything into one area. You don't have to go searching to different places. Although the final interpretation of your state unemployment benefits will be made by your state. So normally states provide up to 26 weeks of benefits. Under the PEUC program, which was established as a result of the CARES Act, because we're in the middle of a public health emergency, there's a 13-week extension to these state benefits. So let's say you were going to get benefits for 26 weeks, now you're going to get them for 39 weeks, and that's the case for everyone. That is a federal guideline that was put into place as a result of the CARES Act. So that's number one. So you're at 26 weeks on average, plus an additional 13 weeks, which is the PEUC program. Now, you need to contact your state to make sure that you continue after the 26 weeks to receive those benefits. Do you have to do any additional paperwork? Do you have to do any additional certifications? Do you have to comply with additional guidelines? You should check with your state, because I want to make sure that everyone gets these benefits. Now, this is a federal law, which means states have to do it. So your state will do it. You just have to make sure you follow the correct procedure in order to be able to get it. And PEUC benefits are available for weeks of unemployment beginning after your state implements the new program. And by now, all states have indeed implemented the PEUC, because again, this was a guideline from back in March, and ending with weeks of unemployment ending on or before December 31st, 2020. In other words, the benefits will continue no later than December 31st, 2020. So let's say you go on unemployment today, you exhaust 26 weeks of state unemployment benefits, you get an additional 13 weeks of unemployment benefits, but no later than December 31st, 2020. So what that means is, I don't know, hypothetically speaking, you go on unemployment in November, right? Now, by the time you exhaust your 26 weeks, you already passed December 31st, 2020, which means in that case, you're not going to get an additional 13 weeks of PEUC. So the PEUC is essentially intended to help individuals who lost their jobs in March, April, May, June, July, sort of to give them state unemployment benefits all the way through December 31st, 2020. Now, I don't want my viewers and my subscribers to get confused and mix this up with the booster. The booster is on top of all of this. The $600 a week booster, which has expired, which has now been replaced by the $300 a week lost wages assistance program, which is being slowly implemented across the country. That was money on top of this money, because this public health emergency has gone on way longer than the government originally anticipated with the CARES Act. So the program covers, I'm talking about the PEUC program, and I'm reading from the Department of Labor here. The program covers most individuals who have exhausted all rights to regular unemployment compensation under state or federal law. And by the way, this is the important part, and who are able to work, available for work, and actively seeking work as defined by state law. this is very important, so I'm going to repeat this. This is very, very important. Who are able to work, available for work, and actively seeking work as defined by state law. So you need to be actively looking for a job. You need to be able, in other words, you need to be physically able to look for a job, and you essentially need to make yourself available to your existing employer or any other employers. In other words, they want you to get back into the workforce. You can't, if you're not actively looking for a job, then according to the guidelines from the Department of Labor, you are not eligible for the 13-week extension. You are not eligible for the PEUC, because think about it, the government doesn't want individuals just sitting at home on unemployment, using funds which, by the way, ultimately other taxpayers pay for, and which that's not right. So let's get back into this. Importantly, the CARES Act, by the way, let's be clear. If you're looking for a job and you're not able to find a job, if you're able to work, I quote, if you're able to work, quote, available for work and actively seeking work, and you're still not able to find work, then you are eligible for PEUC based on the guidelines from the Department of Labor. I'm reading out from the Department of Labor, so make sure you review these guidelines yourself by clicking on the link in the description below. It says here, importantly, the CARES Act gives states flexibility in determining whether you are actively seeking work if you're unable to search for work because of the pandemic, including because of illness, quarantine, or movement restrictions. So what the guideline is saying is the states will decide whether individuals are, quote unquote, actively seeking work. So quote unquote, actively seeking work. The states will decide the exact definition of actively seeking work, which again is, why the work search requirements, which are, by the way, getting more and more strict. They are more strict in the Lost Wages Assistance Program compared to the $600 a week federal booster. You already know that. Hopefully you already know that. I did do another video where I talked about the work search requirements associated with the Lost Wages Assistance Program, and on top of that, your state is going to be creating or establishing their own work search guidelines. So make sure you keep that in mind. So your state will decide whether, because of the pandemic, because of quarantine, because of restrictions with your workplace, maybe your workplace is not complying with the safety guidelines or movement restrictions, whether that qualifies you for whether you're quote unquote actively seeking work. So some states may be very strict with that interpretation. Other states may be more flexible with that particular determination. Also, by the way, now, and I did do another video on this, now that schools are starting to reopen, some schools are completely digital, some schools are hybrid, some schools are open. There are now guidelines for caretakers from the Department of Labor. You'll start to see now that the country is gradually opening up, that more and more guidelines will come in to say, hey, you can get unemployment if this and this happens, if you can't get unemployment if this and this happens, and you should be aware of these guidelines. Now, in addition, and again, I hope my subscribers know this, but if you don't, the good news is, if you have exhausted the 13 weeks of additional benefits under the PEUC program, you may be able to receive additional benefits under the PUA program. Okay, you may be able to receive additional benefits under the PUA program. The PUA benefits are available for a period of employment of up to 39 weeks. The PUA benefits are available for a period of employment up to 39 weeks, meaning that if you have exhausted, let's say you got state unemployment, then you got PEUC, then you can get the PUA program. But okay, I'll read out word for word. If you have exhausted regular unemployment compensation and PUC benefits in fewer than 39 weeks, okay, then you may be eligible to receive assistance under the PUA for the remaining weeks within PUA's 39-week period. So remember, the 39 weeks is not on top of, but that 39 is the full duration. So I'll give you a couple of scenarios. Let's say scenario one, you got state unemployment insurance for, let's say, 19 weeks, just throwing out a number, and then you added then you got the 13 weeks of PEUC. 19 plus 13 is 29, 32. Yeah, that's 32, correct. So that leaves 7 weeks, so you can get PUA for 7 weeks. But because then that total of 19 plus 13 plus 7, I think my math is correct, yeah, 39. But if you got your state unemployment benefits for 26 weeks and you got PEUC for 13 weeks, 26 plus 13 is 39, you can't get PUA on top of that. Okay, so I'm going to mention this one more time. If you have exhausted regular unemployment compensation and PEUC benefits in fewer than 13 weeks, in fewer than 39 weeks, you may be eligible to receive assistance under PUA for the remaining weeks within PUA's 39-week period. Now, the PUA program was originally established for individuals who wouldn't normally qualify for unemployment insurance, and this is a topic for a different video, but hopefully this gives you a clear idea of what are your options after state unemployment insurance is exhausted. I will provide you with a link to this Department of Labor guideline in the description section below, so please check it out. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something new from this video, please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. Me and my team put a lot of hard work into these videos, and by the way, it might seem like it's easy to film these videos, but it's almost like running a marathon, because I'm on my feet all the time. I have to be talking constantly. I have to focus. I'm constantly thinking about what I have to say. So it is a lot of work. I would really appreciate it. And by the way, we do this work for you, so you don't have to go hunting for the information. You don't have to go reading and trying to interpret everything. You can listen to me. Hopefully I explain it properly. And then you can rewind, you can go back in the video and watch it again and share it. It gives you all those advantages. All I ask is please click the like button. Please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications so you get instant updates going forward. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. If you don't know anything about me, check out my introductory video on the Ignition Time channel. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. I am a beneficiary of the generosity of everything that America has to offer, and I consider myself fortunate, and my goal with this channel is to try and pay it forward. I really appreciate you watching. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week, so make sure you click like, you subscribe, you enable notifications so you get alerts. Sometimes YouTube doesn't send out notifications, so make sure you bookmark our channel, youtube.com/ignition time, and then you can visit our channel a couple of times a day or whenever you want, a couple of times a week. It's up to you, and then you can see all the latest videos directly on our channel, and then you can watch them. I really appreciate you watching. Please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. Again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. I look forward to seeing you in the next video of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.